Great morning. Great morning, you guys. Come on in. Great morning. Come on in. Come on in. Y'all, come on in. Excited for today's word. Let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Let me know who's here and where you are tuning in from. Ooh, come on, you guys. Come on. Let me see if I can straighten this up a little bit. I feel like I'm a little crooked. Got to get it together. All right, you guys. Welcome to the Prophetic Drive-By. Excited to share this word with you guys. Hold on. Let me get there so I can share. Great morning, Jackie. Yes, Georgia is in the building. GA. Great morning, April. Good to see you, gorgeous. Let me share. And you guys, please do the same thing. Go ahead and share. And once you shared, let me know that you shared. Go ahead and share. And once you shared, let me know that you shared. Ooh, it's about to go down. I'm excited because you guys, listen, I'm going to tell you that God is doing some incredible things. And, I've been saying things are going to happen quickly. Things are going to move quickly. Things are going to go quickly. Like I've been saying that. And I need y'all to understand just how real that is. That's real talk. It's real talk. It's a real thing. It's really happening. So you guys come on in. Come on in. Thank you so much for sharing, April. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So let's get started. Let's get started today. Today I'm talking about get God's vision for your life. Listen, we get everybody's vision for our life except God's. We get our vision. We get, the movies vision. We get the romance novels vision. We get our parents' vision. We get our friends' vision. We get our significant others' vision. We get our grandparents' vision. We get all these vision for our life, but we fail often to get God's vision for our life. No, y'all may say, Dr. B, why is it important for us to get God's vision for my life, right? Because I really want you to focus on you. I know y'all are sitting here like, oh, I know who I need to send this to. I need to send this to this person and this person and this person because they need to get God's vision for their life. Pause right there. You need to get God's vision for your life. Let me tell y'all something. Until we have fully manifested everything that God has promised us, we still need to get God's vision for our life and keep it in front of us. It's why in the book of Habakkuk, the prophet says, write the vision. God told the prophet to say, write the vision and make it plain that they who read it might run and not faint. Need to get God's vision for your life. Hey, baby, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Jackie. Hey, Denise, good to see you. You need to get God's vision for your life because God's vision for your life is the vision that is going to produce what God has in store for you. Look, of course, I had my vision for my life, what my life was going to look like, by when, how it was going to happen. And recently I was talking to one of my former colleagues, or one of my colleagues, I guess you could say. We were all in graduate school at the same time. Now, the thing about me is I've always been a little ahead of my time. And we may have met when I was an undergraduate and they were in graduate school, okay? Because I always just been a little grown, a little ahead of my time. And so I remember as an undergraduate going to conferences in the field of communication. I remember going to the Southern States Communication Association conference because I was presenting a paper at the undergraduate conference. Y'all understand? I'm just trying to let y'all know who I is, right? So I've always been a little advanced. I've always thought beyond the norm. I've always had experiences where I was often the only one or the first one or whatever. And so we were talking, and we were talking about our visions for our life and our careers when we were in graduate school. And I said, I always wanted to just go to one institution. I wanted to be there, retire from there, like, spend 40 years there teaching and moving up in the ladder. I ultimately wanted to be a college president. So I wanted to be a department chair. I wanted to be a dean. I wanted to be a vice president. I wanted to be a president. I always wanted to be a college president. That was my vision for my life. That was my vision for my life. I remember when I got the position at the University of Nebraska, Lincoln, and there were two of us that were coming in, two African-American women. We were the first African-Americans to be in the department. I got there before she got there, so I kind of, went through some stuff, paved the way a little bit for her as she was coming in. But I remember even in negotiating, my goal was always to negotiate. Well, I know what you said, but we need a little more than that. I remember the confidence that I had, the boldness that I had to ask for what I wanted, right? I knew that I was a hot commodity. And because I knew I was a hot commodity and very difficult to find, I knew that they needed to pay a premium price for me. So we came in making more than most new assistant professors made. I brought a graduate student with me. I actually set it up so that they had a graduate scholarship for my student that was coming with me from Kentucky State University. Like, I did all of that. And my goal was to go there, build that program, because I had one of the first joint appointments in African American studies and communication, really to kind of build, the discipline, the joint discipline. Wanted to retire from there. That was my vision, mine. God's vision looked nothing like that. In fact, those times when God is taking me back into the academy, he will remind me of, my heart for the academy, my heart for education, but it doesn't overtake my heart for people and practicality and application, because I'm very much about application. But I had to get God's vision for my life. My vision for my life was I'd get married one time and I'd be married to that man until he died. That was my vision for my life. I know looking at my life, it may not seem like that was my vision, but it was my vision for my life. God's vision for my life was not that. God knew the twists and turns, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows that would come between what my vision was and what would play out. Now, some of you may say, oh, God would never, have as a vision for your life multiple marriages. This is what I'm going to say to you. God knows all about me. Knew every step that I would take. If he wanted to, he could have made sure that, I stayed, in just one marriage and that was it. But he knew that more would come out of my life on the path that I had to take than on the path that I wanted to take. I wasn't even ready for that path. I wasn't prepared for that path. And though I absolutely love my son's father, I would not be who I am today had I stayed in that one marriage with that one man for all of my life. I wouldn't have. Now, I'm not telling you to go get married multiple times. Please do not misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm simply saying that sometimes the vision that we have for our life, it's not the vision that God has for our life. It's not what's going to happen, because he knows the end from the beginning. So when there are plot twists in our lives and we are like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened, God is not surprised. The thing about getting God's vision for your life is it may not look exactly like you thought it would. It may not be the person that you thought it would be. It may not be that your career takes the direction that you thought it would take. I look at my peers in the academy and sometimes I miss that path. And yet my path is so much richer because I didn't just stay in the academy. My path is so much richer because it allows all of me to show up in ways that all of me often could not show up in the academy. Now, I'm not saying that all of me can't show up. I'm simply saying that my horizon had to be broadened. I needed to see some different things and experience some different things to get to the point where I find myself now. This, I couldn't have created this, right, without God's vision for my life. I'm real careful. Anytime I do vision boards and things like that, angel number 144, anytime I do vision boards and things like that, I'm really careful now because I understand to seek God's vision for my life and not just mine. Yeah, there are things that I want that God wants me to have, and He'll absolutely give them to me. But I really want to make sure that the vision that I am putting on paper, the vision that I am presenting, is the vision that God has for my life. And when we vision without God's vision for our life, we set ourselves to be in opposition with God. And I do not want to be in opposition with God's will for my life. Why? It's much smoother when you're in God's vision. I'm not saying you don't have problems, you don't have challenges, you don't have issues. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is you ain't fighting God. I'll deal with the other stuff. I'll deal with people. I'll deal with circumstances and situations. As long as I'm in alignment with God, I'm good. I just want to be in alignment with God, whatever that takes. Sometimes I don't like what that takes and what that requires, but I do it. 7-day water fast. Who wants to do that? Who wakes up and says, "Oh, I want to do a 7-day water"? Not me. Not me. No, that's not. No, I like food too much. What? I'll do some juice or something, some salads, something. God, give me a 7-day salad fast or something. Something. Let me eat something. Something. Water? I don't even like water like that. But God knows how to not only get my attention, but to get me in alignment for what He's trying to do. There are things that God is trying to show you that He can't show you because you're too full. You're too full. You're spending too much time eating. He can't even reach you because you talking about, "I got the itis." I got the itis. Oh, let me lay down. No, get up. There are things that God wants to show you, about your life, about His plan for your life, about your purpose. But He can't show you because you're too full. Flip the plate over. Take it off the table so that you can clear out, so that you can hear clearly, see clearly. How can you write a vision and make it plain if you can't see clearly? You got on somebody else's lenses for your life. Because they said, this is what you should want in your life. They said, this is what you should do for your life. They said, this is what you should major in. They said, this is where you should go to school. They said. Right, Corey. I'm not coughing anymore. Y'all remember I was coughing and hacking and coughing and hacking? I'm not coughing. I had to walk it out. My baby said, "Who is they?" They, whoever they is, it'll be a lot of different people. It'd be your parents, it's your pastor, it's your friends, it's the deacons, it's the prophets, it's whoever you allow to speak into your life and dictate the vision for your life. They, whoever they are, they. God, in this season, y'all, listen, I was telling my baby last night, I said, "Baby," I said, "Babe, listen, I'm trying to tell you, stuff is getting ready to take off." Do you all know that anytime God calls a fast, there's a reason for that fast. There's a reason. There usually is something major that's getting ready to happen. When the people of God went into a fast, speaking of which, when the people of God went into a fast, they went into a fast seeking something, seeking answers, seeking the hand of God to move, seeking something, right? So today is Purim. What is Purim? Purim is the day that celebrates Esther fasting and going before the king for the children of Israel. I'm gonna tell y'all something about. There's something with the Esther thing, right? Purim. It's a time where we can seek God. Now, look, let me say this. There are things that we don't know about and we don't understand and we don't look at, right? Because we feel like it has nothing to do with us. And a lot of times, things related to Hebrew life, the life of the children of Israel will get lost because we view it as just a Jewish tradition. But know ye not that we are the Jews of which the word speaks? Know ye not that we are the descendants of Abraham? Know ye not that we are not just Gentiles engrafted in, but we are the people? Do you know that part, right? Jesus was not a Christian. He was Jewish. He was not a Christian. He was Jewish. We, as followers of Christ, identify ourselves as Christians, but we are a part of the chosen people, the royal priesthood, descendants of Abraham. I'm not talking about grafted in. We ain't the step kids. We the kids, but we are them and they are us. So there are some things that we need to understand, we need to grab hold of so that we can truly understand our identity. We can't see ourselves clearly because we've allowed the world to tell us who we are, and they have lied to us and deceived us because they know if we really know who we are, that we'll move differently. So all that stuff is irrelevant. That's irrelevant. The feasts, the festivals, all that stuff is irrelevant. I'm not telling you that you are obligated by law to practice the feast and the fellowship. I am not saying that. But what I am saying is this. You need to understand the times and the seasons of God. The feasts, the festivals, all of them had significance. There was significance attached to them. And when you understand the significance, you can tap into the seasons of God. There is something about aligning with God's season and his timing, God's vision for your life. Purim commemorates the saving of the Jewish people from annihilation at the hands of Haman, as recounted in the book of Esther. Listen, my uncle said to me, he said, God told me that you're an Esther. Okay, uncle, because I had felt that, like God had said that to me. He had told me, like Esther was being prepared for the king, I'm preparing you for your king. God had told me that. But when I was going to my daddy's house, God told me, I'm preparing you for your king. Listen, you're like Esther. You're going into a season of preparation for your king. Okay, God, let's go. Took me to my daddy. There was a part that my daddy had to play where my heart was healed as it related to men. And then took me to my aunt. There was a part my aunt played where she helped me reconnect to parts of my femininity that I had put down, that I had put on the back burner, revitalized some things in me. Then he sent me to my son. And that represented the healing of the mother-child bond. right? Even though we weren't broken, but it just allowed me to operate in a space where I hadn't been able to operate in his life for a while. And then it is so interesting, right? Because I stayed with my oldest son. Then I stayed with my next to the oldest son. Those are the two that I haven't really had a lot of time to spend with, didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time with as they've gotten grown, right? And they've been grown for a while. I went to Tampa and I got to spend some time with my younger children, right? And then he took me or sent me to my husband. God will give you the preparation needed for where he's taking you. Today, as we celebrate the saving of the Jewish people, as we celebrate Esther's willingness to go before the king without an invitation, to request the life of her people, to put her own life on the line. See, you can't be an Esther without being willing to put your life on the line. You got to be willing to put your life on the line. And the problem is that many of us are afraid to put our life on the line. See, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to be about it. I'm not going to just give you talk. I'm going to give some action with my talk, okay? I need you to understand that I fight for mine. I fight for what is mine, rightfully mine, justifiably mine, God-given mine, my children, my husband, my marriage, my destiny. I'm fighting for all of that. Now, my fight may not look like your fight, but my fight requires me to get the vision and make it plain, to put it on paper so that when I look at it or anybody else looks at it, no one is confused about where I'm going. No one's confused about where I'm going or what my call is or what I'm doing. No one's confused about that. My husband is not confused about who I am. He knows who I am. He knows who he married. Sometimes I wonder, does he understand all of the magnitude of that and what that means? But he's here for it all. See, unless you get God's vision for your life, you won't be able to endure the things that come up against you. I'm built a little different as a woman, and I'm not talking about my shape, but I'm just built a little different from a lot of women. Like, God made me a warrior. I came out a warrior. I came out ready to war. I came out ready to fight. I came out ready to go to battle. Like, that's me. Like, I'm not scared. Listen, it's so interesting to me because I'm the person who, I don't fear authority. I don't know. Like, I've always been like that. I've always felt like the rules do not apply to me. Oh, I know that's for everybody else. That's not for me. Those are not my rules. I don't have to follow those. Those are not my rules. I got my own set of rules, right? I just have always been like that. I can remember being in high school, getting a report card that was wrong. I had a grade on there that was wrong. I got a B in PE. I still remember this to this day. I got a B in PE, and I wasn't supposed to get a B in PE. I was supposed to have an A in PE. Who gets a B in PE? No, I'm not supposed to have no B. This is supposed to be an A. This grade is wrong. Sir, you need to fix my grade because this is not right. Oh, well, you didn't dress out. If I didn't dress out, I had a note or I was gone to gifted and talented, sir. So I'm gonna need you to change this. Well, I don't have record of that, Okay, angel number 155. Okay. So you're not gonna change my grade. Okay, cool. Bet. I took the report card and threw it in the trash. I don't want this. Who does that? I don't want this. This B. What is a B? B is for better get that grade up. That's what that B is for. What in the world? You better change that, sir. I threw my report card in the trash. What? I remember my teacher saying, Veronica, I need you to get that out of the trash. No, ma'am, I'm not. Because my grade is wrong. That's not my report card. Hey, Daddy, I love you. I'm not getting that report card. Daddy, I'm just talking about the daughter that you birthed, okay? You gave birth to. You the reason I'm like this. No, I don't want that. She said, Veronica, you need to get your report card out of the trash. I I don't, lady, are you hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth? I don't want that report card. It is incorrect, inaccurate, and it needs to be adjusted. Somebody needs to fix this, okay? In the absence of anyone fixing it, I don't want it. It can stay right where it's at, in the trash, period, because it's garbage. She said, Veronica, if you don't get this report card out of the trash, I am going to send you to the office. Okay, but them people are not the boss of me. But I got it out of the trash. Because I didn't want to be in trouble. I got it out of the trash. I took it. Y'all, listen. You've got to be willing. You've got to be willing to stand for something. I just have known how to stand for something. I just stood for it. Even if I was freaking wrong, if I felt like I was right, I was going to stand on that. Before there was a 10 toes down, I was 10 toes down. Listen, you got to understand that. Charlotte said, that's hilarious. I used to hate low, crappy A's either. Oh, girl, you got a 90%. What? Why is this so? No, I wasn't that bad. I wasn't that bad. I'm not going to say I was that bad. But God's vision for my life has always been to be a leader, to be set apart, to be different. That's his vision for me. I'm going to be different. I'm going to move different. I'm not going to look like everybody else. And the moment I feel like I'm looking like everybody else, I'm checking, God, is something wrong with me? What's going on? Because I'm moving like everybody else. Wait a minute, something's wrong. That's when I know that I am out of sync with God and I'm in sync with people. I ain't trying to be in sync with people. I'm trying to be in sync with God. I'm trying to be in sync with God. Now, if the people are in sync with God and we all out of sync with everybody else, okay, I'm good with that. But if I'm in sync with all these people, and these people, I don't know if they in sync with God or not. If that's not real clear to me, I gotta check me. I ain't talking about them, I'm talking about me. I gotta check me. Because I want to make sure that I'm walking in God's vision for my life. And I used to think, angel number 177, that I was just being difficult. I thought I was just being difficult. And then God began to talk to me about me. So the past 2 years has been an opportunity for me to really get to know me. Get to know the ins and outs of me, why I'm wired the way I'm wired, why I do what I do, how I move, how I think, so that I can understand me. In coming to understand me, God has talked to me about the me that he created. About the me that he created. See, he's been real clear with me. I created you to shake stuff up. Because it seems like everywhere I go, stuff gets shook up. I be like, God, I'm just trying to mind my business. I'm just trying to be quiet. I'm just trying to be in the cut. My presence shake stuff up. I be like, all I did was show up. I didn't even say nothing. I didn't even do nothing. What do you mean, right? My presence shakes stuff up. It shakes up the status quo. Because I'm not the status quo. So it shakes up the status quo. The status quo gets uncomfortable. If you're operating, moving in mediocrity, average, just living, just surviving, I'm going to shake that up and you finna be mad with me. That's what I do. Not because I've judged you for how you choose to move, but simply because I don't move like that. I don't move like that. I can't move like that. I can't stay in that place. I can't stay in that place. I've got to be in this place of evolution, of evolving, of growing, of becoming better, becoming more of the me that God created me to be. I got to do that. Now, if that means that I got to leave you where you are, then I'm going to have to leave you where you are. But we probably are not going to be able to coexist in the same space and be comfortable. Like, somebody finna be uncomfortable. Like, somebody going to be uncomfortable, and it's not going to be Me, I'm not going to be uncomfortable. Like, I'm comfortable in who I am. And so I just have to be me. Now, if my being me makes you feel uncomfortable, I apologize for that. But I'm not sorry. I apologize that my presence makes you uncomfortable. I'm sorry that, that's what you're feeling. But I'm not sorry for being me. I'm not sorry for walking out my walk, my call, who he's called me to be and positioned me to be. And if he brought me into your life, I promise you, he's trying to change your life. I promise you that. If God brought me into your life, if you're on this page, if you're watching this, God is trying to change your life. There's something that he's trying to get you to. And he needed my voice, my spirit to stir you up a little bit, make you feel something. Huh? How many of us have ever found ourselves in a place where we didn't want to feel anything, right? So we numb ourselves. We numb ourselves. Whatever we choose to use to numb ourselves, we numb ourselves. We become emotionless because emotion is too much for us. We numb ourselves. I come to agitate that, to agitate your numbness. You gonna feel something. That's why I tell people say, oh, well, everybody loves you. I said, the devil is a lie. No, they don't. Everybody does not love me, but people are real clear. They either love me or they can't stand me. It's no in between. It's no middle ground. It's not, I kind of like Dr. V. No, no, no. No, people have very visceral, strong reactions to me in my presence. Either they love me or they hate me. It's one or the other. It can't be both. It's either you love you some me, or you hate me. And the crazy thing is this, people can hate me and still watch me. I don't understand. Now, if I hate somebody, I'm not watching them. For what? I'm not doing it. But people can hate me and watch me because there's something about me that fascinates them. That's not my business, though. My business is being who God called me to be. Just to be who God called me to be, say what God has called me to say, do what God has called me to do. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's the thing that fascinates people, is that they're fascinated by my willingness to do what God says. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect, y'all. I'm not saying that I always get it right. Please do not take that from this. And I really don't want y'all to think I'm perfect, because I'm far from perfect. I just keep going. I don't quit. I keep going. I keep becoming more me. You'll notice on the stuff of me and my husband, I often use the hashtag becoming the Johnsons, right? Because yes, we got married and I now have the name and I am a Johnson, but we're becoming the Johnsons. I'm talking about the force to be reckoned with in the kingdom. We're becoming that. We're not that already. We're becoming that. We're becoming who God wants us to be as a unit, as a couple. We're becoming that. There is an ongoing, constant state of becoming. Like, we are constantly becoming more of who God created the Johnsons to be and what that looks like. So excuse me if I get on your nerves sharing our stuff. Excuse me if I get on your nerves because I talk about him so much. Excuse me if I get on your nerves because, it's always about the Johnsons, the Johnsons, the Johnsons, the Johnsons, my husband, my husband, my husband, my wife, my wife, my wife. He got to say, he said, my wife. It's just my wife. I can't say it exactly like he says it, but it's the way that he says it that I just absolutely love, right? But we're becoming that. And if that's agitating to you, I get it. I get it. Because you have so many couples out here portraying themselves as the perfect couple, the ideal couple. We're not that. We're not the perfect couple. We're not the ideal couple. We're a couple who's becoming. We're becoming. I don't mind sharing our becoming. We're becoming. We are not a finished product. We are a product that is in the works, that God is working on, building on, establishing a firm foundation for. Like, that's who we are. We're just showing you what that process is like for us. And is it always super smooth? No. Do y'all disagree? Yes. We move differently. We move differently. I think it's best epitomized. We were walking on the pier, in the pier shopping area, So we're walking. Well, anybody who knows anything about me, everything I do fast. Okay, I don't do slow well. So for me, taking a walk, I might get excited, especially when there's some music going or I got some music playing in my head. You know, I'm gonna be walking to the music, so I'm gonna move a little bit. My husband is very much not that person. My husband is very much the saunter. You know, he saunters. You know, I don't saunter, I walk. Let me see you walk. Okay, I walk, he saunters, all right? So I guess I was moving a little. He's like, hey, you're dragging me, you're dragging me, you're dragging me. I was like, what? He's like, you're dragging me. I'm like, oh, okay. So I try to slow down. But then I started again. He said, why are you walking so fast? Sir, I'm just trying to walk. But we had to adjust our walk to each other. There's a way I walk and there's a way he walks. But when we're walking together, we gotta find a middle ground. Otherwise, I'm gonna be dragging him. Because that's how I walk. See, you don't get that part. See, people want to show you when everything is in sync, right? But sometimes you out of sync and you got to get back in alignment. Something as simple as the rate at which we walk. Something that simple. Something that small. Got adjust. So I slowed down, which was very challenging for me, okay? Because I'd be like, but I slowed down. Why? Do you think that maybe God could have put him in my life to slow me down a little bit? Because I do everything fast all the time. I'm always going. And the thing that I've noticed since I've been with him is I've slowed down to enjoy a little bit more. You see, it's not always, and it's a balancing act, right? I've slowed down and he's sped up. So we balance each other. God will give you what you need, not just what you want, but what you need. I need that. I need that safe place, that place where I can calm down and not feel like I have to go 100 miles an hour because I got to get it. I got to get that money. I got to get these bills paid. I got to get this done. I got to get that done. I got to get it. He gave me a man who takes care of me so I don't have to get it. And so when I get it, baby, I get it, right? And I get it, and I get it helps us to move forward. But I don't feel like I've got to always be getting it. I don't have to do that. You have to get God's vision for your life, because in getting God's vision for your life, you get greater clarity for your life, direction for your life, what's next in your life. And I am consistently reminded of how much God prepared me for my husband by sending me to my daddy, because they are so much alike. They're alike. That's why I had to be careful when both of them are on the phone, because I'll get deleted. So my daddy just says, I'm not in this. Because see, I already know my daddy. And I know what my daddy will say. I know when my daddy's going to be over there, on that side, over there. Listen, and I'll be looking at him like, Daddy. Just remember, I'm your baby. God wants to give us his vision for our life. He wants to give that to us. But we got to ask and listen. So, this Saturday, I think it's this Saturday, I got to get with Shay on it. This Saturday, we're doing I'm going to be speaking at a vision board brunch where we're going to get the vision for our lives. And I'm excited about it because I love helping people tap into God's vision for their life and then creating a visual representation of that. Because that's how I find myself here in my office that my baby painted for me. On my for me. Living the life that my baby provides for me. Come on. Come on. Listen, y'all don't understand how big that is. To the point where I don't, y'all listen, to the point where I don't have to worry and stress about stuff. I can truly do what God has assigned me to do without stressing out. Y'all, that's amazing. It is major to be able to lean back and know that you're stable and steady and someone's got you, that you're not going to fall, that you're not, and if you stumble, you're going to be caught. That's one of the most amazing feelings in the world. So if he tell me to slow down, I'm going to slow down. I might be like, I don't want to slow down, but you know, I'm telling you, it is amazing. Yes, Denise, only God can do that. Amen, daughter. Amen. Everybody deserves this. Now listen, every woman deserves this. We deserve it. So for me, this vision brunch is my opportunity to share what writing the vision can produce in your life. It was when I removed my saboteurs, those self-sabotaging behaviors that were preventing me from getting what God promised me and getting clear on that, right? That I was able to get God's vision for my life, put it on paper, put it before me, and produce the life I'm living. This is a result of all the things that I've gone through, me learning how to improve me, because see, you don't get better till you become better. You don't get better until you become better. So this is the result of me investing in me, healing me, growing me, becoming more of who my daddy God created me to be, so that I could get what he already had for me, waiting in the wings. But each of us had a path that we had to take before we could get to each other. Don't miss what God has waiting for you. Don't miss it. Don't miss it by thinking you don't deserve it. Don't miss it by settling. Don't miss it. Don't miss what God has for you. There are things that God specifically has for you. Corey, what is the accent color for your office? I saw something I wanted to get for it. It is like a white and rose gold. Yeah, rose gold, gold. Like it's, you know, pink. I got some pink in here, pink and gold. Pink and gold, rose gold. Yeah. Hey, Michaela, how are you? Beautiful. Good to see you. Look, there's more. There's more that God has for you. He's waiting for you. You're not waiting on God. God's waiting for you. Waiting for you to believe, waiting for you to get it, waiting for you to dream. One of the things that I wanted more than anything in my life was to have the kind of marriage that my kids could look at and see what marriage, a good marriage, a healthy marriage, an effective marriage looks like. I want my daughter to see how a man's supposed to treat her. I wanted her to know what that looks like. I wanted her to see the feelings that it produces, so that she would not go through what I went through, that she wouldn't have to have 5 marriages to get to the one, you know, that she would be able to wait, she would be able to recognize, she would be able to stand and know that she was worth it, so that she could draw what it is she desired. And that's big for me. That's big for me. It may not be a big deal to you, but that's big to me. I wanted that. I wanted that for me. I wanted that for them. I want my granddaughters to be able to look and to see what it looks like for a man to love you in a healthy way. I wanted them to see that. I wanted them to know that they're worth it, that they deserve it. I wanted my sons to see what that commitment looks like. I wanted them to come out of the mindset that women are always just trying to get over on you. You know, I wanted them to see that, you know, the mama that they see now is not the mama that they've seen in the past, because I don't have to be her. I don't have to be the one that figures it all out. I don't have to be the one that makes it all happen. I don't have to be. But I don't have to be because I have a man who is in right position, who understands his role and who operates in it effectively. And yes, that means that sometimes we bump heads. That's a part of it. But that you can work through the head bumps. The head bumps don't mean that there's no value in it. The head bumps mean that you are adjusting, that you're becoming one. And the two shall become one. Yes, we've been united. Now we're uniting our lives. That's a process. It's a process. It's a process. Everyone adjusting to the changes. It's a process. It's a process, us connecting and us adjusting to one another. It's a process, us adjusting with all the kids. It's a process, us adjusting with the grandkids. It's a process, but it is a necessary process. And not only is it necessary, it is one that I absolutely enjoy. Why do I say I enjoy it? I enjoy it because one day we'll look back and we'll be able to say, remember when, you know? And we'll be able to let the world see what it looks like when the two become one and the two families become one family, and what that looks like. Because I believe, and this is what God has promised me, I believe that there is a family unity that is coming, that is going to blow the minds of everyone around us. But it's becoming. It's not there yet, but it's becoming. It's a process. Don't throw away the possibilities because the process is uncomfortable. No, work through it. Anything worth having is worth working for. We just have gotten so caught up in the lies of society of what things have to be. I don't believe it. Like, I don't believe it. And I've experienced some of all of it, right? I've experienced some of all of it. I don't believe it has to be that. I don't believe that family is only blood. I don't believe that your children are your children and my children are my children. I don't believe that. I've never operated like that. Like, I've always operated like, if I'm with a man, my kids are his kids are my kids. That's the way I operate. Like, I'm loving everybody. I'm loving on everybody. That's the way I roll. I don't believe it's blood. I don't believe that it's just blood. I believe it's more than blood. Well, it's a good thing I do. Because the man who raised me was not my blood, but that was my daddy in every sense of the word. That was my daddy. And now I'm blessed because I have two daddies. One raised me, one produced me. And now he gets to raise me in an accelerated fashion. He still had to do some raising though, y'all. I'm just gonna tell y'all. Because I went back to 5. I was 5-year-old girl again, and my daddy has raised me and taught me some things and given me some lessons and showed up for me in ways that have really blessed me and prepared me for my husband. I know my husband grateful. That's why he'd be like, hey, Big Papa, because Big Papa got me together for him. Now, we just work through the rest of it, right? So listen, get God's vision for your life. Get it. Put it in front of you. Put it up so you can visualize it. And then become the you've got to be to get that life. I had to become the me that I needed to be to get this life. See, I couldn't get this life being the me who just got it. I couldn't. Nah, it wouldn't work. He wasn't going for that. Nah. And I didn't want that. So I had to become the me that got taken care of. Guess what? This is all my strong sisters. Listen, if I can tell you anything to help you on this journey, anything to get you back into the soft life or into the soft life, because I never really had the soft life. Like, literally, my grandparents died when I was 17. My grandmother died when I was 17. And I pretty much have been running my life since I was 17 years old, right? Once I went off to school, I took care of me. I needed help sometimes, but I had to get it. I had to figure it out on my own most of my life. So when people look at me and they think my life has just been smooth, baby, no, baby, no, baby, no, baby. Honey, I've had to get my life, create my life, create my support systems. I didn't have a bunch of people around me to help me. No, I couldn't just call my mom and daddy and ask for help. I didn't have that, right? They couldn't help me. So I had to learn how to help myself, right? So I became very independent, very much, I got to get it, I got to get it, I got to get it. So this is what I had to do to become the me to be taken care of. I had to slow down and allow myself to need help. I had to allow myself to need help and to be okay with needing help. People help who they think need help. If they don't think you need help, you don't get help. I had to allow myself to become what looked like weak. I had to allow myself to become vulnerable. I had to allow myself to step back. I had to allow myself to not have so that I could have. Yes, Denise, please ask for help. Yes, Sheila, God worthy and valuable, a blessing and gift. We are absolutely. Praise God for healing and growth and accountability. Yes. Summerlin said amen. Linda said amen. Yes. Y'all, you got to get to that place. You got to get to that place. Women, stop trying to be all strong. You want a strong man? A strong man don't want no woman that got, I don't need no man. I need a man. That's what I said. I need a man. I don't know what y'all out here talking about. I need a man and I want a man. I need him. I need him to put stuff together for me. I need him to carry stuff for me. I need him to take care of me. I need him. I need him to be my strong shoulder that I can lean on. I need him. I need him. And guess what? I'm still a warrior, but I know when to war. I don't war in here. In these walls, I don't have to war. I can step back because my baby got me. When I go out into the world, yeah, I may have to war. But when I go into the world, I'm not warring alone. We war together. So allow yourself to become soft, to become vulnerable. Because that's one thing though about me. I'm gonna tell y'all this. That's one thing about me. I wasn't carrying stuff. I was not carrying stuff. It's some men around. I'm gonna carry something. I'm gonna be opening doors and stuff. Ooh, I am not. Wait. Mm-mm. Y'all go ahead with your strong selves. I be trying to tell these girls now, girls, stop. Why are you moving tables and there is some men in here and boys in here? What are you doing? I'm like, I got it. Girl. No, you don't. Stop now. Stop. You want a man to take care of you? You show that you're deserving of being taken care of. Sit back, sit down somewhere. And let these men be men. Y'all want to know why men don't be being men? Because we don't need men. Now the roles are reversed and we became the men and they done became the women. They can't do nothing. They can't fix nothing. What? Mm-mm. 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 No, y'all, mm-mm. No, I'm gonna need y'all to get it all together. I'm gonna need you to be able to use a screwdriver, put something up on the wall or something. I'm gonna need you to be able to do something. I'm gonna need you to be able to do some of that. I'm gonna need that. We do our girls a disservice when we tell them that they've got to take care of themselves. We do them a disservice. No man is ever going to take care of you. We do them a disservice because we create in them the mindset that was created in us, that has resulted in us going through a bunch of unnecessary mess. I be quick to tell my daughter, baby, learn from your mama. Learn from your mama's mistakes. Okay? Learn from your mama's mistakes. Don't do what I did. Yeah, you deserve, I don't care how much money you make, you deserve to have a man take care of you. I don't care. You deserve that. You deserve that. You deserve to be treated like a queen. You deserve that. You, I need to hear how he talking. How he talking. What he doing. More importantly, what he doing. So if he ain't doing nothing, then I'm like, oh, he ain't the one, babe. That ain't the one. You might need to keep looking. But when he comes in the door and is consistent in solving problems in your life, not watching you struggle, and man, babe, I wish I could help. Then what do I need you for if you can't help me? If you can't help me, but I can help you, that's a problem. We ought to be able to help each other. So I'm real clear, and I watch and I listen to what they say. If they try to avoid me and her dad, no, I'm looking for the ones that, on their grown man stuff. Like, I want to provide for your daughter and not just talk about it. Not provide for your daughter one day when no. What you doing now? What you doing now? Like, that's important to me. You ain't doing nothing now? I ain't expecting you to do nothing later. You don't get married and then all of a sudden they start doing it. It don't work like that. So I just know that as she's been on her dating journey, I'm like, she's impressing me. That's what I'm going to say. She's impressing me with her growth because it hasn't always been like this. She's impressing me with her growth and her understanding of her value. Because unless you understand your value, you'll always settle. That's why I went through all I went through. Because I couldn't see me correctly. I didn't see my value correctly. I didn't. So once I did, it changed the game. It changed the game. See yourself correctly. See yourself the way God sees you. That's why you got to get God's vision for your life. God says, no, daughter, I got something I've got for you. I got somebody for you. Somebody who's going to love you and cherish you and treat you like the queen that you are. And you'll be able to love him without holding back. I watched our reception, and one of the things that really stood out to me was it seemed like in so many pictures we were kissing. It seemed like in so many pictures we were kissing, right? Always somewhere during kissing, just kissing. And that to me, because y'all know men don't be necessarily liking no public displays of affection, right? But that to me said so much. Like, we wanted to always be kissing, It wasn't about sex. It was just about the intimacy of the touching of our lips, right? It was about just wanting to be under each other. It was a constant reminder to me of that level of intimacy. Now listen, I'm going to say this again for the people in the back. We're not perfect. We're not. We don't have a perfect marriage. But we are in a constant state of becoming. And I like the journey. It's challenging. But then, I love that we know how to get back, even if we have a moment. And we have moments. Even if we have a moment, we're able to get back centered to what's most important. And what's most important is what God is doing in our lives and in this union and through this union. That's the most important thing. We can disagree on a lot of stuff, but what's most important is us really connecting to become who God needs us to become individually and as a unit. That's the key. Being able to share that, show that, what that looks like, not to present an illusion so that somebody can say relationship goals. I could care less if anybody thinks we're relationship goals. Listen, we relationship goals for me, right? This is my relationship goals right here, over in here, what we doing, okay? This is my relationship goals. So I don't have time to compare my relationship to anyone else's, and you don't have time to compare yours to anyone else's. What you want to do is get God's vision for you, for your life, for your relationships, and live that. I looked at my board. There's some clear things that I know that I want to produce in my life, but it requires me to shift and requires me to open up. It requires me to do some things a little differently. Like my girlfriends, it's the same thing, right? I know what I want. Like I wanted girlfriends that I could travel with. I wanted girlfriends that I could do. And I'm not saying that I didn't have girlfriends who did that. I just didn't do that with them, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I know what I want. So I put it on my board because I know what I want. So I'm creating what I want while I'm on my way to getting it, right? I speak it, I see it, I just know what I desire. See, get clear about what it is that you desire and what God desires for you. It is not, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna stop, okay? Sometimes the reason we don't have girlfriends is not other people, it's us. Sometimes it's us. Sometimes if we've been hurt so much, we don't want to trust, we don't want to open up. And that was me. Like, I had been so disappointed when I had let my guard down in the way some people had handled me that I said, bump it, I'm not fooling with no women. Women are trifling and petty and jealous and envious, and they want your life. I'm not fooling with them. God said, not so. God said, I've called you to women. I said, I don't want to be called to them. Did y'all hear what I said? I told God, I don't want to be called to women. They too emotional. They get all emotional and in their feelings and all. I don't want to be bothered with all that. I don't. He said, oh, okay. Okay. I'm glad you let me know. And then he still sent me to women. Because it's not about what I want. It's about what I need and who needs me. And yes, I can minister to anyone and everyone, and it runs the gamut, but there's a special work that he's doing right now in this season, especially as it relates to me and women, and them being able to see a strong woman be soft, be vulnerable, and not always feel like you got to get it. In my office, there will not be a single thing that says boss. When God says something, you just got to go with it. I had a whole thing around billionaire boss, billionaire bosses, billionaire bosses, billionaire bosses, billionaire bosses. God just canceled all of that. Oh my goodness. Just canceled it. 10-10. Angel number 10-10. Corey said, I'm glad he sent you to women. Me too, Corey. We are liking that. But look, check this out. He sent me to women that don't really deal with women. He sent me to women that don't really deal with women. We're a different kind of women. He just gave me something. We're a different kind of women. We don't be wanting to deal with all that extra. And so we don't bring that. So we don't get that with each other. Today, I want you to get God's vision for your life. And one of the ways that you can do that is beginning to remove the saboteurs, those self-sabotaging behaviors that keep you from being able to connect with who you're supposed to connect with, to be with who you're supposed to be with, and get what it is that you're supposed to get. Kill those saboteurs, those self-sabotaging behaviors that consistently seem to show up. Stacy said, me too, because you have been an amazing blessing to me. Amen. Jackie said, me too. These my girls, y'all. These my girls. But they had to go through a process with me because my guard was real up. My guard was real up. I'm like, hee hee, ha ha. I love y'all, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. God said, stop. Stop it. Stop it. They have shown themselves to be friends. They have shown themselves to be faithful. They have shown themselves to truly have my back. They've shown that. No matter who came and went, they have been consistent. They've shown that. And listen, that's no judgment on anybody who came and went. Because listen, everybody is not assigned to you for a full time. You know? You got to appreciate the time that people are in your life for whatever reason. You got to appreciate that and value that. Listen, I value everyone who's ever been a part of my life. I couldn't always do that. Some of them I wish you could have stayed where you was, okay? But God said, no, you got to value people for the time that they are in your life because there is purpose connected to that. Angel number 1010. April said, can't imagine my life without you in it. You have challenged and pushed me. Now, you know I do that now. That's one of the things people struggle with me is I'm going to challenge you and I'm going to push you. I'm going to do that. So, look, go register for the class. The class is only $140 for both classes. Afterpay is available. It's this Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you who have taken the class in the past, you guys can do a re-up. You can do a re-up. Hit me up for how you can do that re-up. You can do a re-up just so that you can walk back through it, go through the process again, and just get a refresher, a reminder of what it is. And then I want you to be on the lookout for our 6-week supercharge. Our No More Sabotage 6-week supercharge. I'm getting ready to run it back. I'm getting ready to run it back in the month of April. I'm running back the 6-week No More Challenge, No More Sabotage Supercharge. I'm going to run it back in the month of April. So y'all get ready for that. If you've taken the class in the past and you want that 6 weeks of accountability to take it to the next level, it is time for you to plug in, tap in, check in so that you can get that. Because listen, we're taking this thing to the next and the next and the next and the next. Look, I pray the word blessed you. I pray that you got something out of it that you needed. I pray that you understand the importance and the significance of getting God's vision for your life. And I pray that you seek him for that, right? Listen, if you're in the Panama City area, join us on Saturday for the Vision Board Brunch, hosted by Pastor Shay Wells Thomas. And House of Prayer number 3. I think that's right. House of Prayer number 3 here in the Panama City area. I'm excited for what God is getting ready to do. I know he's going to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we can think or ask. That's how he works. So if you were blessed by the word, you can sow a seed at Cash App $DRV Johnson 777. Cash App $DRV Johnson 777. I'm trying to adjust, y'all. Everything is shifted, right? Everything new, everything new. Everything's new. Listen, I love you guys for life and life more abundant. Have an amazing, incredible, and epic day. Be blessed. Mwah.